Alright, take 5. Hello everybody, I'm over from the Portland City, Jim. Now, this is take 5 because chaos seems to go on every single time I hit the record button. So we're gonna hope nothing bad happens. And if something bad does happen, you wouldn't know because this wouldn't go up on YouTube. So this is a deck that me and at Josh Hatter on Twitter formulated together. We didn't spend like a whole ton of time on, it's not like we spent hours, just saying like, oh, what about this matchup? Oh, I think this is a bad matchup for this. Oh, I think we should tech this in, It was just bouncing around some ideas, combining those ideas, getting rid of the things that don't really work. We did do some testing, obviously. Well, no, he did all the testing. There's a reason for that. I'll get to that. But, so this is kind of the end result that I got. Few things got taken out. A few things got put back in. And if you guys do follow us on Twitter at the Portland Gym, then you will have seen this deck in its full. You would have seen the original version of this deck, and here is the new version, revamped, re-improved. So yeah. All right. So first off, is 4 copies of Zoroark. Zoroark with from Dark Explorers is particularly the one you want to be playing. Paralyzing Gaze Zoroark is objectively the best. For 1 colorless energy, or in this case a double colorless, it does no damage, but you flip a coin, and if it's heads, then the defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. So this is a good stall tactic. For those who saw my Greninja Break deck profile, which was not last video, but I think it was the video before, you'll know that Froakie's Bubble is actually quite handy to stall for a turn, and this is really no exception. This deck is very much a go first deck, so having Zoroark as an option to stall is very, very strong. Then we play 4 copies of the main star of the show, the main attacker, the main draw support, the main everything, Zoroark GX. Zoroark GX, arguably one of the most busted cards ever printed. It has trade, where you can discard a card from your hand once during your turn, and then draw 2 cards. Very similar to Cinccino's Make Do ability. However, there is one key difference in these cards. 1, this has a lot more HP. 2, this one's a 2-prizer. And 3, this one has an amazing attack. For 1 double colorless or 2 colorless energy, it does 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in play. So with a full bench, with a Sky Field in play, you're doing 180 damage. Of course, taking into account Galarian Zigzagoons, you could be doing a lot more in total than 180 damage. But that's the whole concept. There's 2-shotting everything in the game. So yeah. 2 retreat cost, also 210 HP. 210 HP used to actually be pretty decent for a Stage 1 GX. Yeah, I know. After that, we play 1 copy of the Zoroark from Black and White base, or Next Destinies. It's been printed a couple times, but it has the second attack, Foul Play, where you can just choose one of the defending Pokemon's attacks. So this attack. This deck does have a GX attack of choice, which we'll get to later. So you don't really want to be copying GX attacks. That's usually not what you want to do, but any of those high energy attacks, like if you're up against, I don't know, like some kind of deck with like a huge energy cost, let's just for the sake of argument, say you were going up against Mega Charizard Y or something. You'd never go up against that because the cards are garbage. But if you did, you could use their same 300 damage attack for a double colorless. So it really does. It really is good for against high energy decks. However, if you're going up against something like Night March, or I guess in this case Mad Party, it's absolutely useless. So yeah, just keep that in mind. but I think it is 100% worth a 1 of tech. Next up, we play 2 copies of Oranguru. Like I said, this is a combo deck, so usually you're going to play 2 copies of Oranguru. Primate Wisdom, of course, just once during your turn, swap the 1 card in your hand for the top card of your deck. Very, very good. Also, of course, you're able to use it with Mr. Mime from Detective Pikachu. Pantomime makes it so when you put it on the bench, you may swap the top card of your deck with 1 of your prize cards. So basically, you can put Jirachi Prism Star on top of your deck. Pantomime, put Jirachi Prism Star on top of in your prize cards, and you'll know exactly where it is. So when you attack, take a prize, use take Jirachi as a prize card, and then just take an extra prize card. Of course, you do have to put Jirachi Prism Star on the bench, and that is kind of important to note. So just keep that in mind. You have to leave a bench space open. So essentially, if you want to pull off combo, you have to deal 160 damage. So yeah, 2 copies of Shaman EX because setup is such a good ability, especially only in expanded format. But, it's just such a good ability in expanded. Just place it on your bench and draw cards until you have 6. Then we play Jirachi EX, Stellar Guidance. Put it on the bench and search your deck for any supporter card you want. We only play as one of 5 supporters, but it can grab you whenever you want. If you want to take that out for a 3rd Shaman, or take it out for like a Muscle Band or something, I understand. However, I feel like Jirachi is a really good consistency card, and you can use it with Scoop Up Net. So, if you ever need to, you can grab one of your 5 supporters again. Next up is Kartana GX. Kartana GX is a card that I was kind of meh, what's this for? And then Josh Hatter, the one who suggested the idea, he said, oh, it's for its ability. I was kind of confused, not gonna lie. Because Blade GX, honestly, it has just such great synergy with the whole theme of the deck. Blade GX, it's an extremely simple attack. It's just a GX attack, and it says, take a prize card. That's it. It doesn't do any damage. It doesn't have any additional effect. It's simply 1 metal energy, take a prize card. You can only do it once per game, obviously. So, picture this, right? You do the whole combo thing. Oranguru, put Jirachi on top. Pantomime, put Jirachi in the prizes. Blade GX, take the Jirachi, take 2 prizes. Oh! That's nice. Now, Josh Hatter in his original list, he actually didn't play any metal energy. And I was so confused. Why are you playing Kartana GX? But you don't play any metal energy to use Blade GX. By the way, its ability is also pretty neat. Slice up, when you put it on the bench, you can discard a special energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's decent. But I feel like it's almost like, what's a good analogy? It's like using Hop in a deck when you can use Professor's Research. It's just, yeah, sure, the ability's good, but you're playing the card for the wrong reason here, man. Which, as you can see, I did put 2 metal energy in. I found the room. Yeah, that's Kartana GX. 1 copy of Propagation Execute. Propagation Execute has the ability, obviously, Propagation, where if it's in your discard pile, you can just put it back into your hand. This is amazing, amazing card. You just trade away the Execute, and draw 2. Of course, you'd have to discard another card. You can't just put it back in your hand, trade, put it back in your hand, trade, put it back in your hand, or else that'd be way too busted. But it's a good trade fodder. It's also pretty good as just a bench sitter. And then when Skyfield gets, when and if Skyfield gets discarded, just discard Execute. However, if you're going up against expanded spread, you're gonna have a bad time. That's all I can say. But Propagation Execute definitely really good in a deck like Zoroark. And then one copy of Galarian Zigzagoon because Scoop Up Net is busted and expanded, and so is Galarian Zigzagoon. Then next up we play 2 copies of Professor Juniper. Discard your hand, draw 7, standard stuff. 1 copy of Guzma. Choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, switch it with their active, and then choose one of your bench Pokemon, switch it with your active. It's a good switching card, and it's a good gusting card. If you want to play Lysander, like, oh, I don't really want to switch, then that's fine. However, the switching ability is really nice. And then 1 copy of Karen. Karen, this is really just using the Mad Party matchup. Halfway through the game, oh no, you're using the Mad Party for the big jet damage, oh no. And then all of a sudden you use Karen. Shuffle all of both players' Pokemon into their deck. It's nasty. Then we play 1 copy of N, and obviously each player shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck, and then draws a card for each of his or her remaining prize cards. Very good disruption, very good shuffle draw, just a very good supporter. Then we play 4 copies of Ultra Ball because Ultra Ball is amazing. 4 copies of VS Seeker because VS Seeker is amazing. 4 copies of Quick Ball because Quick Ball is amazing. What did you expect? 4 copies of Scoop Up Net because Scoop Up Net is busted. 2 copies of Field Blower because we don't like Garbotoxin. 2 copies of Special Charge so that we can get back our double colorless. 2 copies, 2 copies of Floatstone because we don't like being trapped in the active. And 2 copies of Battle Compressor because we want to put stuff in the discard pile. Supporters, Propagation Execute, cards that we won't really need in the matchup that you don't really want to draw into later. Battle Compressor helps with all of that. 1 copy of Computer Search, discard 2 cards from your hand, and then search your deck for 1 card, put it in your hand. 4 copies of oh, look at that. My little brother decided to pay us a visit. Yep, he did. 1 copy of Computer Search because being able to search your deck for any cards you want is very strong. 4 copies of Skyfield because we want to have a big bench. 4 copies of Double Colorless so we can pay for Riot and Speeding. And 2 copies of Metal Energy so we can use Blade GX. So that's the deck, everybody. Definitely leave your constructive criticism in the comments below. And as always, this is River from the Portland City Gym, signing out.